All right, this is a question that has been asked ever since we saw that very first reveal trailer for the Saints Row reboot, and it wasn't quite what the fans were looking for in terms of it being gangster and old school, and people saw it and went, oh, this isn't quite what we were looking for. Now, yes, there is like a subcategory of fans that were like, oh, sick, I love this Fortnite-esque, kind of cartoony and a little bit new take on the Saints. Yeah, sure, there's a good amount of people who were thinking that, but the majority saw that teaser photo. Remember way back when we saw that first teaser photo and said, sick, we're going back to the roots, old school Saints Row, and it wasn't quite that. And since then, the hate train on this new Saints Row game has really been going hard. And I get it, I do, because the fan base for Saints Row, myself included, just feels like we weren't really listened to, and it's frustrating because if you ask any old school Saints Row fan, they'll tell you competition for GTA is not a bad thing. Saints Row for years and years has been terrified of having to go head to head with GTA. Here's the thing though, two reasons why that's a great thing if they would have gone a bit more old school, and yeah, it would have been labeled a GTA clone by people who don't really know what they're talking about. But if you give competition to GTA, it gives them a reason to step up their game over at Rockstar instead of repackaging GTA 5 6 million times. And secondly, we haven't gotten a good old school gangster game in a while, like one that was really quality. So they would stand alone for a while, because guess what? GTA 6 is not coming next week, guys, okay? It's going to be at least a few years before that bad boy hits the shelves. So this could have been a great opportunity for that. So that's why a lot of people, old school fans especially, feel like their voices aren't being heard by Volition, and they feel like it's a missed opportunity for this to go kind of younger, I would say. Okay, like clearly the imagery and everything that's been marketed for this Saints Row, you're marketing towards 12, 13, 14-year-olds who've grown up with Fortnite, who've grown up with GTA Online, where it got wackier with like the flying cars and all this stuff. Like that's kind of where they're going with this, instead of like a grounded, back to the roots Saints Row 1 and 2 type game. But just because they've kind of drawn the ire of so many old school fans, does that necessarily mean that the game's gonna fail? No, not necessarily. But look, hey, it's not looking great for this new Saints Row game, and I'm still gonna buy it. And you know what? A lot of the stuff I've seen as far as like gameplay, and even some of the more recent like customization showcase, for example, some of the more recent trailers have been somewhat promising. Like I think it might still be a good fun game. It's just weird for it to be marketed as a Saints Row game, and I think that's where a lot of the old school fans are upset, and rightfully so, honestly. But because Volition has kind of lost the trust of their fan base and hasn't really made much effort to get it back, I think that's going to be a tough sell. So the only way for the game to really do well is if it catches fire and it turns out to be a really fun, outstanding, unique experience, which it has a chance to be. But see, that's the thing. I don't know how different, how unique it's going to be, how much it's going to be able to stand out. If it was an old school game, I feel like it would have had a better chance, because again, there's almost nothing like that that's really AAA on the PS5 and Series X, and even really that much on PS4 and Xbox One for that matter. So I really think it would have stood a better chance, but here, you're really looking at like the cartoon wacky stuff, and you want to be somewhat grounded too, so you can at least intrigue a lot of the old school fans as well. For me though, it's sad because this was supposed to be like the revival of Saints Row, okay? It was supposed to like come back from the dead and become like this huge powerhouse brand after this, and it comes out in like less than 5 months, and the game, just the marketing hasn't been great. There's not a ton of buzz about it. Like, it's still pretty niche. I don't see how this thing becomes a huge hit like Volition desperately wants it to be, okay? And that saddens me, because if it's not a big hit and if it fails or if it doesn't sell that great, which I'm worried it might not, then Saints Row as a whole, it's going to be tough. It's going to be an uphill battle to get Saints Row to be where Volition and even the fan base wants it to be, okay? And that's really, really sad to say. So I'm hoping that something somewhere can come out of nowhere and be like, make the game super popular and make it catch fire like a Fortnite or GTA Online-esque, I guess, even though there is no direct multiplayer like in GTA Online. I'm hoping there's an element like that can help it catch fire. Maybe some surprise stuff that can really appeal to the old school fans. But look, it's just... I'm worried, guys. I am. I'm nervous about this. And first of all, I want the game to just be really good. That's the first thing I really, really want. And yeah, I would like it to sell well. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You know I'll be reading them. I want to see them. And yeah, leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time, okay?